Okay. Would you guys believe that handshake took us like 2 minutes to practice back there? It's like a 3-step handshake. All right, well, hello guys. My name is Zaviay, and I serve on the college and prayer team here at SOMI. And thank you. Since I am born again, I am choosing to be contagious. Contagious is my word for today. For my friend in the mask right there, it doesn't mean I'm going around coughing all 2025. You're safe. Keep that mask on. No. How many of us in the room are germaphobes or know a germaphobe? You know, when Kat said to high five a neighbor, you only high five one neighbor, and maybe just gave like a wave. You didn't even look to your left, you know? Well, I wouldn't say that my family is necessarily full of germaphobes, but when I went home for winter break, you guys should have seen them. I came back, they picked me up from the airport, and I was a little sick. I tried to conceal it. I tried to make up stuff. I told them it was the Miami pollen, that palm tree pollen. That's not a thing. I told them that there was a cat on the plane. That's why I was sneezing. I'm not even allergic to cats. I don't know. They weren't buying it for a second. But when we got home, it didn't matter that I hadn't seen them in such a long time. They didn't even want to be in the same room as me. Honestly, when I look back on this, their reaction makes sense, because when something is contagious, it spreads very fast. Even though many of us in this room have an idea of what contagious means, I want to take some time to talk about a good kind of contagious. So let's look at Romans 5, that baby knows what I'm talking about. Let's take a look at Romans 5:19. For just as through the disobedience of one man, the many were made sinners, so also through the obedience of one man, the many will be made righteous, right? The disobedience of one man is describing Adam. And the first half of this verse is honestly, for me, tough to grapple with. Adam's sin was contagious, and it spread to all of us. And yes, that might seem unfair, but there's another man. There is another man, the second half of that verse. Woo, my gosh. But through the obedience of one man, the many will be made righteous. This man is Jesus. We know him. We love him. This man is Jesus. Aren't you glad his grace and power is even more contagious and waiting to save us? Through Jesus' obedience, we can be made righteous. Jesus' whole life was contagious, and to this day, his presence still draws millions to him. But how can we be contagious? Today, I've broken it down into 3 points and 3 heart postures of how I'm choosing to be contagious. First, I'm living a life worth catching, right? We can often label something as contagious when someone carries something we don't want. But what if your life carried something that everyone needed, right? In 2025, I'm choosing to operate from a place of forgiveness and genuine care for others because I want my life to draw people to God. Matthew 5:16 reminds us, let your light shine before others that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven, right? And if I want to be contagious and live a life worth catching, I have to serve others. If I'm not loving and serving them, the people in my life, then my life is not worth catching. If I want my life to be worth catching, I have to talk with God. He is my creator, and I need to know, Lord, how do you want to use me? How can I be an instrument for your kingdom, right? And if we're being honest, everyone in this room is already contagious. You guys are halfway there. You're already contagious, but not everyone is spreading Jesus, right? If you want this year to be the year that you stop spreading gossip, stop spreading hate, stop spreading lies, then you need to know the truth. You can display the light of Jesus by doing the good works God has laid out and intended for you to do. That is how you do it. So ask yourself, is my life worth catching? Do people see something in me that makes them want to know Christ? Secondly, I'm staying in love to spread the love. It's my favorite point. So you guys ever notice when someone in your life gets into a relationship? Guys, that's like a whole new person. Suddenly everything changes. You get in their car, all love songs on the radio. Their Instagram is all selfies. I'm sorry to say, but even our own pastors, our wonderful pastors, Rich and Don Sheree Wilkerson, have been married for 18 years. Come on, 18 years, since August 11th, 2006. And if you are wondering, no, I did not look this date up. I know this date by heart because their love is just that contagious. I challenge anyone in this room, come to 3 VU services. 3 weeks is all I'm asking. You will hear that date at least once. I promise. And even though we like to poke fun at this, the truth is that's just what happens when you're in love, right? If we want to be contagious Christians, we need to focus on our love of Christ and have it look the exact same way. That's the kind of joy that spills out when you're in union with Christ. It's just too good to keep to ourselves. Many people fall into this idea that our job as Christians is to represent a moral code or a religion, but I'm choosing to be contagious by focusing on the fact that I am united to Christ through my Spirit. Remember, in John 15, Jesus says, I am the vine, you are the branches. If you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing. This verse reflects on how much we need Christ if we plan on being contagious Christians. Lastly, I'm living from victory, not for victory, right? As someone trying to live as a contagious Christian, I often have to remind myself that we are living from victory. We don't fight to win a battle against the enemy. The battle is already won through Jesus, right? The enemy may try to make us feel like sharing Christ in a world resistant to him is a losing battle. And if we are not careful, we will believe this lie for truth. We will let this lie keep us from worshiping. We will let this lie keep us home from crew. We will let this lie keep us home from church. But guys, I need to tell you, can I remind somebody in the room today that the truth of the gospel is that we operate from a place of victory. We operate from a place of victory. 1 Corinthians 15:57 says it clearly, but thanks be to God. He gives us victory through our Lord Jesus Christ. It does not get more simple than that. When I take on this mindset, I'm allowing God to change how I live, how I speak, and how I love others. I'm trusting that he can make me contagious. And when I know that the outcome is secure, it fuels me and makes my faith magnetic, right? Instead of being burdened by the pressures of fighting for Jesus, contagious Christians shine because they know he has already conquered sin and death. Our role is to spread the news of this victory. Contagious Christians walk in assurance, and that assurance drives people to be closer to Christ. I want to leave you with this, guys. I just pray that when people walk past you, they say, man, I don't know what they have, but I know I need it in my life. I want that for all of you here tonight. I want that for all of you here. I pray that everyone in this room is not just someone who knows Jesus, that you're someone who carries his love, you carry his victories on your shoulders. It's in your smile, it's in your face. I pray all these things over you guys. Hey, I thank you all for your time. I just missed that time. I thank you all for your time. I hope that this year you choose to be contagious.